We are looking ahead to Arsenal in the 2020-2021 Premier League campaign. They won the FA Cup, they've won the Community Shield, and obviously there is a massive African influence in this Gunners team. Colin, we saw again Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's influence in the Community Shield final victory over Liverpool. Just how critical will he be to the Gunners' hopes this season?
Oh, very much so. Look, he's a world-class forward, and he's shown it over and over again by the goals he's scored for the team, not just for Arsenal, but even from his time at Borussia Dortmund. He's a man who's going to give you, on average, 20, 25, even 30 goals a season. So I'm stunned, to be honest, that there's been such a delay about his new contract. I mean, I would have thought that it would have been almost automatic, So the thing that this has dragged on so long is just astonishing as far as I'm concerned. I don't know about you, but I find it very, very astonishing.
Yeah, I find the whole situation quite baffling. I find it very strange the way we seem to get these mixed messages. After both finals, it was very much a similar story. After the FA Cup final, we had Aubameyang quite evasive, whereas Arteta was very full of confidence. He was optimistic that there would be pen to paper. And after the Community Shield, almost a month on, it was basically exactly the same thing. Aubameyang just wanted to talk about celebrating winning the trophy. The team did well. And Arteta was keen to sound the optimism that a deal was imminent. However, his words felt somewhat more hollow, having heard them a month beforehand.
Oh, yeah, certainly. And, like I said, I think they're going to get it done. I mean, look, there's no way Arteta moves forward with this team without Aubameyang. And, based on what we've seen, there really isn't any what you might call serious disagreement between them. So I think this is just a matter of crossing the T's and dotting the I's, and have some level of confidence that it will be done if it hasn't been done already.
After the FA Cup final, I remember Rio Ferdinand said that Aubameyang spoke like a man who is heading for the exit door. Obviously, he's still there a month on, but this doesn't look good for Arsenal, does it? I mean, this is a new era for the Gunners. There is a bright new start under Mikel Arteta. There is so much optimism around the place, not least because of 2 trophies. But this is an unhappy subplot that, with the season less than 2 weeks away, it's still lingering.
Exactly, and that's why they've got to get out of the way as soon as possible. Look, you want other players to come in. This is a sort of like a unique situation that everybody in football, in sport, in fact, the entire world, we find ourselves in. And you don't have time for a proper preseason. You don't have time to bring in a new player and bed him in. So I think the earlier this gets resolved, the better for everyone involved.
What I would say, though, is that sometimes we see players who are a bit ruffled when there is contract talks and there's speculation about their future. However, Aubameyang now has, if you include the goal in the shootout, he now has 6 goals in his last 3 appearances at Wembley. 2 in the semi, 2 in the final, 1 in normal time against Liverpool, 1 in the shootout. Is it maybe time to start saying that Aubameyang and not Drogba is the king of Wembley?
Yeah, we certainly can call him the king of Wembley, at least for now. He's got both goals in the semi-finals against Man City, scored in the final against Chelsea, and now he's come back to the Community Shield and scored against Liverpool. Those are 3 of the biggest clubs in England. And look, you can't take that away from him. So maybe he might not quite be a Drogba, but yes, he's making his own way. He's the Aubameyang of Wembley.
At least he didn't drop the trophy this time either. Also looking ahead at 2 other African players who will doubtless play a major role for Arsenal this season. Bukayo Saka, Eddie Nketiah, both of whom enjoyed breakout campaigns with the Gunners last season. They both started the Community Shields final, a sign, I think, of the faith that Arteta has in these 2 youngsters. Who are you, this is perhaps a stupid question, but who are you more excited about seeing blossom this term?
Well, without a doubt, it's got to be Bukayo Saka. I mean, he's come up in leaps and bounds. He's played almost just about everywhere. I mean, I won't be surprised to see him play striker or at some point play goalkeeper. He's played left back, he's played left midfield, played right midfield, even central midfield. He's pinched in there at some point. And we saw in the Community Shield the cross he laid up for Aubameyang for the goal. And I mean, he set up Nketiah, who could have scored as well. But having said that, I think I've also been a bit impressed with Nketiah. His finishing is not the best, And while he's been criticized for being more of a goal poacher, we have seen him be a bit more selfless, run the channels, work hard for the team, pick up balls, hold up play. So as much as I am very impressed with Bukayo Saka, I think I like the looks of Nketiah.
Yeah, I remember that goal Nketiah scored against Southampton last season when it was just a case of hassling the defenders, hassling goalkeeper Alex McCarthy, being there to pounce on the rebound and putting his side ahead. And again, we saw him, he was able to seemingly get under the skin of Virgil van Dijk. He certainly caused Joe Gomez some problems. And I think his live wire, his energy, his dynamism up front, it really sets the tone for that Arsenal team. But you mentioned Saka, and Saka's assist for Aubameyang's opener at the weekend means that now only Kevin De Bruyne and Trent Alexander-Arnold have contributed more assists since the start of last season than Saka, which, considering he'd only played 7 minutes of Premier League action before last term, it's quite remarkable. I mean, it's a meteoric rise. Should he potentially be in the England squad by now, do you think?
Well, everyone would have expected it, but somehow Gareth Southgate declined to pick any left-sided player in his England squad. I mean, for the life of me, I'm still scratching my head as to why. But having said that, I think that, seeing what Saka has done so far, and I won't be surprised if he makes it to the next. In fact, I think it will be almost a given that he will make it to the next England squad, irrespective of whether Gareth Southgate is picking only right-sided players for the rest of the year.
We'll have to start calling England the Super Eagles A team, I think, at that point. Also, one final word, Mohamed Elneny. 15 months ago, he was deemed surplus to requirements. He last played for Arsenal. A year ago, he was deemed surplus to requirements by Unai Emery. He was loaned to Besiktas, but he started against Liverpool. He impressed in the heart of the park. He was good in possession. He is tenacious. He's aggressive. Do the Gunners really need Thomas Partey?
Oh, well, look, I've been impressed. I was impressed by Elneny, not just in the Community Shield, but also his performance in the friendly just before that. But I do think he's as good as he played at Wembley. He's just not the player that you count on to say, look, I'm going to build my midfield around. And that's why I'm sure that, yes, Thomas Partey is probably going to come any other midfielder. I know Ceballos is coming back on loan from Real Madrid, but I don't think that Elneny is the player you build your midfield around. He's the man that you keep there for squad depth, and every now and then he shows up these kind of performances.
Well, Arteta was certainly complimentary about him after the match, and certainly I hope that he can get a second chance at Arsenal and hopefully prove that he didn't deserve some of the criticism he received first time around.
Well, he did deserve it. I mean, he was playing hot and cold, but like I said, when you look at him, he's not the man that you think, okay, I'm going to build my team around, or I'm going to build a midfield around. What you do get from him is, a great backup who can step in and do a job for a coach and a team.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.